Okay, hello everybody again. This is take 3 of the third part. As you can tell, this is unscripted. I'm just going through it as I can. One thing I will clarify, I called it the cranky hand because the lid is a tool for the nut. It's also a tool for a couple of other things. So basically you end up having to crank the lid every time. So cranky hand, it just seemed appropriate. Now the first thing is, you're going to notice on the lid here that these bolts are misaligned a little. I realigned the fill plate underneath with the lid. This is going to be on the fill plate and the lid this episode. And I aligned a couple other things on the bottom, and these are off alignment. They should be aligned when you make it. Just let the blacksmith or the tool maker know how it should look and how it should work, and he should be able to do that for you. I'm now going to spin this around to the fill plate, and I'm going to talk about this big hole here. That's the one where the main hex nut goes through, the big one, the long one, and that holds everything together, but it also makes everything aligned. So when you remove the lid, you can keep everything aligned using that hex nut and that main hole, so that when you start the process up, everything's aligned. Now the other thing is, you'll see these are the fill holes. Everything has to be aligned in order for you to fill the molds properly, otherwise it isn't going to work. The next thing is these here. I'm going to move the fill plate over now. It's going to take me a moment here to do it. I moved that side. Okay, so as you can see, these are all part of the lid. When you cast your metal into the molds through the fill plate, and you do it through the fill plate, and after you swag the pellets, you have to turn everything else upside down, and the bolt will be attached, and then you basically drop it into, or without the bolt, sorry, you remove the bolt, but then you drop everything upside down, the lid flat on the surface, and these will push everything up off the base plate, so that the base plate will go 1/8 of an inch, which is what that is, or 1/4 of an inch. Sorry, it will go 1/4 of an inch up based upon these, and will allow you to attach. And I'm going to spin this around again. You go in and you reattach these, which aren't attached at that time, to the lid and the face plate, and basically it secures the lid to the fill plate, and then you give the fill plate a turn, like a crank, and it'll break off the lead from the pellets, the excess lead, once you finish swagging, after you finish casting and swagging. So that's afterwards. We'll talk more about the fill plate later on, but that's basically it. And we'll also talk more about the lid and the use for the bolt. In the meantime, that's the end to this video. And again, this is the third part of the 8-part series. So you'll hear from me again, and have a good one.